All right, guys, check this out. So, some of you might remember about a month ago I posted a TTBVI bag that I had grown just like I would grow a cubensi in a bag. It ended up fruiting faster and yielded more than the tray that I spawned at the exact same time and put into the fruiting chamber. Now, with that said, I'd also like to point out that this was an F3 from the swab that I got, which I consider the F0, from Pheno Dreamers, that he got from his grow from the swab that he purchased from Gordo Tech with the whole Patreon deal. Now, that means that this has been taken to spore by me 3 times. This is the 4th time because this is from that grow. Every time I've ran a generation, it requires less and less FAE, free air exchange, less and less oxygen, and seems to enjoy more and more the high CO2, low oxygen environment, the same way we do with our cubes in bags. Also, I'd like to point out that I took several different swabs, and this is just a couple that I found, and I put them to agar right away. Check this out, guys. And I know that some of you have seen pure pan cyan pin on the plates. I've seen it several times. I know ways to actually make it so that it does it a lot easier, and that is simply adding heat and moisture, maybe burping the lid every now and then to give it more air, because they require that, obviously, right? That's what we do when we grow them, is we give them more air, we give them a lot of moisture, we give them a lot more heat, a much higher temperature. People wonder why they don't pin on the plate. Well, you're probably keeping them at 72 degrees with just normal agar and not giving them any air. Normally, I don't even give them air to get them to pin on the plate, but that's neither here nor there. Right now, nothing is going on. This thing hasn't even colonized this plate at all. This is less than a month old from the multispore. Also, guys, I'd like to point out that each time this TTBVI is put to agar, I use food gel coloring in all my plates. I don't care if the exotics don't like it or not. They're gonna live, they're gonna grow, whatever. But a lot of times the spores have a very difficult time germinating. These didn't have trouble at all, and they don't seem to care that there's food gel coloring, so they seem to be adapting very quickly. Actually, quicker than a lot of the cubes that I'm tailoring the genetics to do better in the high CO2, low oxygen environment. So this is pretty exciting, because if you look right here, boy, are there a lot of hypalnots and primordia forming right there. And that's all one dikaryon. You can tell by how closely they're all grouped together. Okay? They come right here. This is exactly what I do with my cubes, guys, is I clone the plate pins, right? If I'm in a hurry, or if I think that those hypalnots are big enough for me to transfer, I'm gonna do it, because it's the same thing. You're transferring that isolate that's within that mycelium that's growing that fruit body, and you're isolating stronger fruiting genetics within the fruit body. Check out this one. Those are TTBVI pins, baby. Yeet. Look at that. Anyways, I'm excited for this next run in the bag to see what we can't get from these guys. And I was just excited to show you guys because I've been planning on doing this for the last couple of days, just getting these transferred. I finally have some time, and I was like, shit, man, I'm gonna show you guys what's up. So, appreciate it always. Much love to y'all, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace. Wait a sec, guys, I'm not quite done. I forgot that I was gonna show you what I do when I transfer these to make sure that I end up choosing the isolate that's gonna serve me the best, right? So, what I do is I take my scalpel, right? This is what I do with whenever I'm isolating from spore, even with cubes, no matter what, this is what I do. This is the best way for me to tell that I'm gonna get the best genetics out of it. I'm gonna use something that's called the clockwork method. The clockwork method pertains to the idea that your petri dish is a clock. So this would be 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, where's my blade? 9 o'clock back to 12 o'clock. And all the numbers in between there represent numbers on the clock. So right here, if I'm at 12 o'clock, I can see this group of primordia forming right there, right? So that looks like it's about 2:45. So you'd consider the space between the 2 and the 3, the 45, because it's about 3/4 of the way to the 3. Does that make sense? So at 245, right here, I'm just gonna come. Now don't take much, I'm just gonna grab one. Now the reason for the clockwork and the clockwork method is because I know that each part of this clock from the multispore, if I'm going in a circle, is going to be providing me a different dikaryon with a different set of genetics, probably very similar to the ones that we're isolating, but at the same time, there's big differences with each dikaryon as well. None are the same. The same way you and your brother and your sisters aren't the same. They all go through meiosis after karyogamy occurs. And same with humans, same with animals, same with everything. That has to occur to make sure that there's genetic diversity and that evolution and natural selection can occur and that the strong survive, okay? So, now I'm gonna see where the next spot is I can grab one. There's not a lot of, well, I guess there's some right here. It doesn't have to be necessarily like a clock, like using that exactly, because not all plates are going to have pins exactly in those spots, but you get the idea. Random places on the plate are going to ensure diverse genetics. So right there. So right here. Look for more on there. I'm not seeing any more worth grabbing, so I'll just yank on this, put it back, and then we'll go to this one. Go ahead and sterilize my blade again. Kind of been screaming, maybe got some spit bubbles landing in the plate and shit. Just come right there and just clean it right off, guys. Clean it right off there. And then come back here, make sure. Ideally, guys, you really should, in between each transfer, be at least wiping your blade off, because there could be fragments of that other dikaryon, right? So you're not really isolating anything. I pay very close attention to that, so I think I'm all right. But if you're not aware, it's definitely good practice to start with, okay? Right here, I'm just gonna come right here. Now, as these grow out, guys, on this plate that I'm transferring to, we're going to be able to see the sectors when they collide. When the two myceliums collide, it's going to create what's called a barrage zone. And that's a sector where they're not fusing together or mating or showing you that they're the same. They're showing you that they're brothers and that they're sisters and that they're ready to fight for the right to get freaky in the basidium. All right, that's the truth of it. It's all about sex. These things want to mate. And I ain't talking about, never mind, I'm stopping. Stopping right there, it's too early. Earmuffs, guys, earmuffs. Okay, thank you, thank you. Super duper sexy to me. I just think it's sexy. It's hot. What I'm gonna do here, get these little lids back on these sons of bitches, and I'll light me up a stogie, and I'm gonna get back to work. Much love, guys.